All right, next up, the art of small talk. According to the Wall Street Journal, a growing number of college professors around the U.S. are teaching chit-chat skills to their students. Very interesting. So, Kendall, is small talk a skill that you can teach?
Okay.
Audience, okay.
So I saw a TikTok recently of like a elementary school teacher, and basically he was saying that like his students are not developing in the same way that he felt he did when he was in that age.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that is obviously coming from our phone world and phone culture. And I think that like, you know, the art of small talk and chit chat and that kind of stuff is different, because we're usually doing it in a text message. So it's a totally different world that we're in. And like even these kids, they're having trouble like writing paragraphs the same as us because of autocorrect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So,
right? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I love that it's coming from a teacher, because teachers are seeing the effects of the pandemic, kids stuck at home, little ones on devices instead of developing language skills.
Yeah.
But to me, chit-chat small talk is no different than just learning how to communicate, period. And because they're calling this generation, I'm the mother of a 9-year-old daughter, they're calling her generation the indoors generation. They spend the majority of their day inside. Now, inside's not necessarily a bad thing, except that inside tends to mean that they're inside with this. Instead of outside, you know, 2 or 3 generations ago, 90% of people spent their time outside. And they spent it in places called third places. This is a concept in sociology. First place being home, second place being work. There's a disappearance of the third place.
So what's an example
Community
of the third
centers,
place?
Convenience stores, hanging at the mall in the food court. Right?
We did that.
The third place is where you just learn to communicate as a human. I'm gonna blame my generation.
But now their third place is almost like social media.
Digital.
Social media.
But you're not practicing chit-chat. So I will just call myself out as a parent. I am actively trying to give my daughter the childhood that I had. So she has a bank card now, and so now she goes out, she wants to buy something at the bakery, she has to get out of the car by herself, cross the street by herself. I know, take a big breath. She survived. Cross the street by herself, go into the store by herself, order for herself, talk to the cashier herself, because I'm realizing she knows how to do this. She can't have a conversation. So it's my fault as a parent. I need to get her out of the house.
But do you think by university it's too late? Like we're talking university level students.
Yeah, it's ingrained.
You're over 18 by that age.
I don't know.
You know what? This is a difference. It's not so much that your daughter is indoors like all the other kids. We also, our previous generations, we had a lot more responsibilities. Tell me if your parents ever sent you to the bank with a note and some cash in an envelope. Mine did. Tell me if you were sent to the corner store to buy cigarettes for your parents. Mine did. Tell me, I was on public transit by myself at age 9 and no one batted an eye. So because of that, I learned at a very early age all that small talk. I understood how to navigate in all those spaces. And now, I'm not blaming parents because the world is very different, but there's a lot more coddling and people don't want to let their kids do
There's
anything.
a crisis of over-parenting.
Right? Exactly.
Absolutely.
But what I'm also seeing is growing up, this is what I saw in my family. When you went to a family house, when you walked in, you had to say whatever time of day, good afternoon, good evening, Mrs. and such, you gave them a hug and a kiss, and then you went to playing with your friends. Now I'm noticing with my same cousins that I grew up with, we all grew up the same way. When their kids, when we get somewhere, their kids aren't even making eye contact. They're not even talking to us. No one is saying anything, and everybody seems okay with it, and it blows my mind. I'm like, what's happening here? So it's kind of the parents' fault. Like, we're not having that same expectation.
I saw something that, like, when, you know, years ago, it was about the kids trying to impress the parents, whereas now it's the parents trying to impress the kids.
Oh my gosh, that just hit hard. That's fast.
Yeah, I grew up in the trying to impress the parents.
Oh yeah, we all did.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my, we have to move on, but my mind's just blown by that. Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.